The 65th Hunger Games. It was a spectacle of brutality, a grim reminder of the capital's iron grip over the districts. Each year the Games served as a chilling display of power, a way to instill fear and maintain control. The capital's dominance was evident in every aspect of the Games, from the grandiose opening ceremonies to the ruthless battles that followed. It was a horrific display of power by the capital, designed to remind the districts of their place. This year, one tribute stood out among the rest. Finnick Odair, a boy of just 14, would become the youngest victor the Games had ever seen. His sea-green eyes, filled with determination and a hint of sadness, captured the hearts of many. Finnick's journey was one of extraordinary courage, resilience, and ultimately, unbearable loss. He faced challenges that would break most adults, yet he persevered with a strength that belied his age. His story was not just about survival, but about the human spirit's capacity to endure and overcome.
I came from District 4, the fishing district. Our lives revolved around the sea, and from a young age I learned the ways of the water. The sea was both a provider and a harsh taskmaster, shaping us into resilient and resourceful people. Life there was harsh, but I found solace in the crashing waves and salty air. The ocean was my sanctuary, a place where I could escape the harsh realities of life in the district. It was in those moments of solitude that I honed my skills and found my inner strength. I was known for my exceptional skill with a trident and net, honed from years of providing for my family. These tools were not just for fishing, they were extensions of myself, symbols of my identity and my connection to the sea. Little did I know that these skills would soon be tested in the most horrific arena imaginable. The Hunger Games arena was a place of nightmares, filled with dangers at every turn. But it was also a place where I would discover the true extent of my abilities and the depths of my courage. As the games progressed, I faced opponents who were stronger and more experienced. Yet, I relied on my instincts and the skills I had developed over the years. Each victory was hard fought, a testament to my determination and will to survive. In the end, it was not just my physical abilities that saw me through, but my unwavering spirit. The sea had taught me resilience, and it was this resilience that carried me through the darkest moments of the Games. My victory was not just a personal triumph, but a symbol of hope for all those who dared to dream of a better future.
The reaping day arrived, casting a shadow over the usually vibrant District 4. Finnick stood with his peers, the weight of potential tribute heavy in the air. When his name was drawn, a collective gasp rippled through the crowd. He was so young, barely more than a child. His birthday, the day he turned 14, became the day his innocence was stolen. As he made his way to the stage, he heard it. A mocking whistle, piercing and cruel. It came from Lila, a girl from his district, a girl who had caught his eye, a girl he would never see again. Finnick found himself thrust into the capital, a world of extravagance and artificiality. The city was a dazzling spectacle, with towering skyscrapers and streets that never slept. Neon lights and holographic billboards painted the night sky in vibrant hues, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. It was a place where the reality seemed to blur with fantasy, and every corner held a new marvel or a hidden danger. He was paired with Sophie, a girl barely older than him, her eyes wide with terror. Sophie, with her delicate frame and innocent demeanor, seemed so out of place in this world of opulence and deceit. They were both thrust into a game they never asked to play, their lives now a spectacle for the capital's entertainment. They were adorned in shimmering costumes for the tribute parade, their outfits designed to captivate and distract. The costumes, though beautiful, felt like chains, binding them to their roles as pawns in a much larger game. The parade was a grand affair, with music, laughter, and cheers filling the air, masking the underlying tension and fear. Their chariot, pulled by magnificent seahorses. The seahorses, with their shimmering scales and graceful movements, were a sight to behold. Yet for Finnick and Sophie, the grandeur of the parade was overshadowed by the grim reality of their situation.
This place, it's terrifying. We have to survive, Finnick. We just have to. Sophie's voice trembled as she spoke, her fear palpable. Finnick nodded, his mind racing with thoughts of strategies and alliances. They had to be strong, not just for themselves, but for each other.
The capital crowds roared with delight, their cheers echoing through the streets. To them, this was just another form of entertainment, a thrilling spectacle to be enjoyed. They were oblivious to the fear and desperation that gripped the tributes, oblivious to the fear that gnawed at Finnick's insides. Every cheer, every applause felt like a dagger, reminding him of the stakes. He had to keep his composure to not let the capital see his fear. He knew the horrors that awaited them. The arena, with its hidden traps and deadly challenges, loomed in his mind. It was a place where only the strongest and the smartest could survive. Finnick had to be both. He had to survive. Not just for himself, but for Sophie, too. She depended on him, and he couldn't let her down. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on his shoulders, but it also gave him a sense of purpose. She was just a child, caught in the capital's web of cruelty. The innocence in her eyes was a stark contrast to the brutality of their reality. Finnick vowed to protect her, no matter the cost. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, drawing strength from each other in the face of overwhelming odds. The training center became Finnick's battleground. He honed his skills with his trident, its familiar way to comfort in the unfamiliar surroundings. It was here he met Adeline, the female tribute from District 1.
You've got raw talent, Finnick. Stick with me and we might just make it out of here.
Adeline, a seasoned competitor, recognized his raw talent and took him under her wing. They trained together, sharing knowledge and strategies. A bond began to form, forged in the fires of their shared predicament. But the games were a fickle mistress, and alliances could shift like the sands. The interviews arrived, a chance to win over the capital audience.
Finnick, with his boyish charm and undeniable charisma, captivated the audience.
He spoke of his love for District 4, his voice filled with a sincerity that belied his young age.
He spoke of Sophie, vowing to protect her.
The capital ate it up, showering him with gifts and sponsors. Little did they know the depths of his despair, the fear that gnawed at him when the cameras weren't rolling.
The gong sounded, signaling the start of the 65th Hunger Games.
This year's arena was a vast forested island surrounded by treacherous waters. The tributes were scattered, their fates hanging by a thread. Finnick quickly located Sophie, their eyes meeting across the blood-soaked sand. The games had begun. Survival became his sole focus. He used his knowledge of the sea to his advantage, diving for food, navigating the treacherous currents. But the arena held countless dangers, both environmental and human. The tributes began to fall one by one, their cries echoing through the dense foliage. Finnick received a sponsor gift from the capital, a trident. With it, he took out tributes with precision, turning the tide in his favor.
Finnick and Adeline's paths crossed again, their alliance solidified in the face of danger.
They fought side by side, their skills complementing each other perfectly. Adeline, with her knowledge of weapons, and Finnick, with his agility and knowledge of the terrain. They faced numerous threats, bloodthirsty tributes driven by desperation, deadly creatures lurking in the shadows, the constant fear of the unknown. But through it all, their bond deepened. Trust, born out of necessity, blossomed into something akin to friendship, a rare and precious thing in the arena.
As the days turned into nights, the number of tributes dwindled.
Finnick was forced to make impossible choices, his heart hardening with each loss. He had promised himself he would protect Sophie, but the games had a way of stripping away even the purest intentions.
The final confrontation was inevitable. It came down to Finnick and Adeline, their alliance shattered by the cruelty of the games. They circled each other, the weight of their shared history heavy in the air. They both knew only one could walk away.
Finnick emerged victorious, but the victory felt hollow. The applause and cheers that surrounded him felt like a distant echo, a stark contrast to the turmoil within. He had survived the arena, but at what cost? The weight of his victory pressed heavily on his shoulders, a burden he would carry for the rest of his life.
The cheers of the capital rang in his ears, a constant reminder of the price he had paid. The capital celebrated him as a hero, but they were blind to the scars that marred his soul. The fireworks that lit up the night sky were a stark contrast to the darkness that had settled in his heart. Each cheer, each applause, was a reminder of the lives lost, the innocence shattered. The boy with the sea-green eyes was gone, replaced by a haunted young man forever marked by the games. His eyes, once filled with dreams and hopes, now reflected the horrors he had witnessed. The arena had taken more than just his innocence. It had taken a part of his soul. The haunted look in his eyes was a testament to the nightmares that plagued his nights and the memories that haunted his days. He returned to District 4 a hero, but his heart remained in the arena. The warm reception from his hometown, the smiles and cheers felt like a cruel joke. They saw a hero, but he saw a survivor, a broken soul trying to piece together the fragments of his shattered life. The sea, once a source of solace, now reminded him of the bloodshed, the screams, and the faces of those who didn't make it. He found solace in Annie Cresta, a victress from District 4, her gentle spirit a balm to his wounded soul. Annie, with her own scars and traumas, understood the pain that Finnick carried. Their shared experiences created a bond that was unbreakable. Together, they found moments of peace, moments where the horrors of the past seemed like distant memories. Their love was a beacon of hope in a world filled with darkness. When Finnick turned 16, President Snow began selling a night with him to the highest bidder from the capital. This exploitation added another layer of torment to his already scarred soul. The opulence of the capital parties masked the dark reality of Finnick's life, a life controlled and manipulated by those in power. The young victor, once celebrated, was now a pawn in a cruel game, his dignity stripped away for the amusement of the elite. He joined the rebellion against the capital, fighting for a better world, a world free from the tyranny of the Hunger Games. The rebellion gave him a purpose, a reason to fight. It was a chance to make amends, to fight for those who couldn't. Leading the rebels, he found a new sense of determination, a new sense of hope. The fight was not just for freedom, but for redemption. His bravery was unwavering, his spirit unbroken. In the face of adversity, Finnick stood tall, a beacon of hope for the rebels. His courage inspired those around him, giving them the strength to continue the fight. Despite the odds, despite the dangers, he never wavered. His spirit, though battered and bruised, remained unbroken, a testament to his resilience. His death during the rebellion sent shockwaves through Panem. The news of his passing was a blow to the rebellion, a loss that was felt deeply by all. The candlelight vigils, the memorials were a testament to the impact he had made. He was more than just a victor, he was a symbol of hope, a beacon of light in the darkest of times. His sacrifice wasn't for nothing. After the rebellion, the games were abolished. Anne found some peace after his death and returned to District 4 to raise their son, Finnick Jr.